Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. Today's pick a card reading. We'll be pulling 3 cards here, and we'll be asking Spirit for an immediate message for you and what it is you're needing to hear right now, and some guidance for the next 7 days. All right, so this is immediate, and if at any point you're pulled to any one of these cards, you can select from the timestamp that will be in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick. For those of you guys needing more guidance, and then we'll sit with the energy of these cards, which I'll be revealing shortly, and we'll be pulling a charm as well. Okay, this is to build your intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine what feels right for you. Okay, only you can do this. And lean into your intuition. Okay, so if you're pulled to multiple piles, could be multiple messages, and it is absolutely okay to not be drawn into any message today. Okay, absolutely fine. And I will see you guys at the next one if not. So, beautiful people, let's take a look at option number 1 and see what you have. So you guys have card number 1. Above you, the Lantern Dancer. For option 1, and we'll pull a charm for you as well. Option number 2, you guys have 23 with Anchor to Fly. Anchor to Fly. Option number 3, you guys have number 10, Safe to Fall. All right, so different energies with these 3 piles. Let's pull a charm. So for option 1, you guys have the tiger's face, tiger's head. You guys can see that. All right, and for option number 2, you guys have Big Sis on a sign that says Big Sis. Interesting, we see the 2 girls here. And Safe to Fall, and we have the heart. Okay, so I'll move this box out of my way. Sit with the energy of these 3. I'll leave the video running for a bit so that you can tap into your intuition. And your first inkling is most likely your intuition there. Okay, so sit with this, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1. You guys pick card 1 with above you, the Lantern Dancer and the tiger's head. We're looking at immediate message from Spirit right here, right now, and some guidance for the next 7 days, the week ahead, seeing what Spirit wants to communicate to you and what you're needing to hear. So let's tap into this initial energy here before we reveal these cards. But I do ask you, use your own intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear throughout this reading to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this, okay? And I've not looked at these cards, and so we'll tap into each card throughout the layout, which is the best way to exercise your intuition, okay? If you want to go straight away to the reading, I will put a timestamp to the channeled reading, and if it doesn't resonate for you, don't force it to fit, okay? Go check out another pile if so. So, beautiful angels. This is kind of like the moon card in the tarot. Okay, so I feel like there is deep emotions going on here, something maybe you're emotionally really connected to, something very personal potentially going on in your world that could be triggering some fears or some doubts. And maybe we're not sure if we're seeing clearly. You know, maybe we have an understanding of something, but our understanding might not be clear or objective truth. Maybe it's something we're projecting from pains or something that we're potentially too fearful to see. But I feel like there is maybe some level of understanding that you might have here and having to face something. You know, like have the courage to face something, or maybe have the courage to sit with full emotions. There's like a need for strength here. And I feel like the strength is really to be present with full emotions and full truths, and dig into the subconscious and see things for what it is, and that sort of work, which is difficult sometimes to do because sometimes we have to unravel a lot before we get to the truth. So this could also be like indicating maybe one lunar month. So maybe we've been struggling for a month or so. Okay, now energy doesn't sit in precise timing, but it could be that it's been a challenging month, you know, but I feel there's something to do with maybe one calendar month here or one lunar cycle. Let's tap into what this is communicating for you guys, beautiful angels, and see what this message is about, okay? So we have kitchen with creation. And we have mushroom. So this could certainly be talking about the interconnectedness here of everything. Interesting. Mushrooms, an ingredient we can use in the kitchen for sure. Maybe ingesting or preparing something that impacts a lot of other things or a lot of other people. Maybe there's a lot of things that are interconnected here. I feel, again, this very deep sort of emotional connection. Okay, so we have this sort of abstract card. We have a bigger person and a smaller person here. It almost looks like someone maybe being a bully. You know, like holding up their fists, and someone maybe being defensive. I don't know. Let's see. We have gratitude. All these beautiful sunflowers. Clouds. Clouds can talk about needing to break through confusion we were talking about. Okay. And then we have let your best be for your friend with friendship, card number 30 or the number 3. Let your best be for your friend. There's 2 people here. More clouds. Interconnectedness here. We see 2 mushrooms. Okay. And then we have Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awakening to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. This definitely looks like it's out of balance. Someone's blocked or defending, and someone's more offensive or on the offense, I should say, on the offense. Okay, this looks more like giving and taking, and this is talking about giving and receiving. Balance. All right, and we have the Divine Physician, number 6. And I'm going to read them in the upright, although there's a reverse and an upright meaning for these cards, but we'll just tap into what the energy is like here. The Divine Physician. The health of something here. Okay, and then we have the King of Keys on a white horse. The King of Keys, okay. And then we have 6 of Scrolls, the Sands of Time. We have the Hourglass here and a bunch of scrolls. 6 scrolls here with the 6 of Scrolls, okay. And we have the sign of Virgo, the serving of others. Let your best be for your friends. The details of, which could be in these scrolls, do what you must do and. Do what you must do and. Wow, okay. Virgo energy, and we have Uranus with change, number 25, or the number 7. So 7 is all about faith and wisdom, reflection and understanding. It's Chariot energy, Cancer energy, which is all about balance, which we were getting here, a need for balance. So Uranus is Aquarius energy, outside the box sort of thinking. It's the great awakener here with Uranus and change. Okay, and then we have Squirrel Spirit, believe in yourself, 57. Okay, so this is number 12. And that's the Hangman, which is a change of perspective potentially, or like a period of limbo or seeing things differently. We did see the hourglass. Pisces energy. It's also number 3, growth, relationships, and the initial success of something. But we see with the acorn, it could take quite some time with the acorn to grow into the oak tree. And we see the squirrel, which is about preparation. Believe in self. Okay, I'm going to tap into this energy, and then we'll pull some tarot if we need clarifiers, and let's see what this immediate message is from Spirit for you, beautiful angels. Now, if this isn't your message, then it could be energy in regard, well, it's your message, but energy in regards to a situation or someone in your energy field. Okay, so take it into context, if you will. All right. Okay. Okay, beautiful people. This message is fairly simple, okay? I feel like we can be our worst enemy, and we could start to talk ourselves into or out of certain things, especially if we don't have all the information in front of us. Okay, so any situation, the only thing we carry would be our own sort of experience and our own understanding. And so as long as we're aware that we're not injecting our past experiences or projections into current circumstances in order for current circumstances to unfold without tainting or projecting or contaminating experiences with the past. Okay, so there might be a lot of unnecessary fears or a lot of projecting of certain fears we might have based on no foundings or no facts. Okay, so the message here is in regards to, I feel, your situation, which could be dealing with people, okay, because we got to relationships. It could be multiple people, could be one person specifically, okay, how we're connected to that person or that situation, and that you hold the power here as to what's forming and transforming, okay? And so if we inject sort of a fearful state or uncertainty or any energy into a situation that isn't coming from a love space, you know, from gratitude, then we might concoct something that isn't very pleasant. And so the universe is really affirming here, whatever situation you're dealing with here, you have the key in order to inject this situation, this relationship, with gratitude, with love, and with support, and being open, being very open, okay? Because love, like this lady Nat is talking about, the heart awakening, meets people in situations where they're at without wanting any change and without expecting anything other than just being of service and of support. This will allow things to change, but this is asking you to have a change of perspective, okay? Because if we're really hung up on our own understanding or ideas, then we'll continue to support that, which it's not wrong, but then whatever unfolds will unfold because there's still unfolding of the situation that has to occur. Okay, so this is talking about being in your purest state of consciousness, which means being very present, being of service, doing the best thing from a heart space for ourselves and others, and providing healing to situations rather than contaminating it with hurts and projections. So if we are in a situation or it's imbalanced or we don't really understand that person or there's triggering happening, we can only control whether we're triggered or not. We can only control whether we're being on the offense or defensive, and recognize this and instill a place of neutral balance. And neutral balance comes from the heart, saying what's the most loving thing I can do in this moment, and continuously foster that sort of energy until whatever set of circumstances builds a foundation here of healing and slowly starts to shift and change. Okay, if we don't start the foundation, if we don't prepare the groundwork, if we aren't there to put the ingredients together, then it's going to be concocted in however state it's being concocted in. So if there's a lot of fear, projections, uncertainty, then we continue to react. And so we might take from people certain things that they say or certain understandings we have, and then become defensive or become, triggered. And so there might be a unhealthy balance in a situation or in a relationship, because we're perpetuating, I'm going to be defensive based on how you act, or I'm going to be I don't know, like aggressive, or take this as a threat and then respond as that. But it's really the fear talking, it's really the emotions talking. And so there's a need for us to be courageous and to allow ourselves to feel whatever situation or circumstance in the greatest truth, without contaminating it with past experiences or fears of whatever we've experienced in the past, and understand that a full connecting of these emotions and leaning into the courage to not attach ourselves in a way here to a situation, which I feel is has a heavy charge, because it's difficult when we're attached to certain people or certain situations to not take it personal. Okay, but I feel like the Spirit is saying, like, you have a lot of power here in this situation to provide healing. And so we're supposed to be in an energy of checking ourselves. Are we grateful here? Are we providing service here? Are we allowing our hearts to be open from a loving place? What's the most healing, loving thing we can do here from the purest state? And that is being honest with truth. But at the same time, there's a need to check our own perspective. Okay, so it's really asking you to step outside of yourself. And so if the first thought is, why me, or I don't want to do this, or I've ran out of patience, or all of this, then we're not going to experience change. And this is your answer as to why things are happening sort of as they are, because you're perpetuating whatever the state is. And so you can continue to be right, in that state, because your perception is your experience of what you're fostering here. And so if we want to concoct something different, our energy is really ingrained into whatever we're dealing with here, this person, this situation, so much so that when we change any little part of us, it creates a huge shift in the situation. So there's big changes that can happen, but there's a need to get balanced within ourselves, bring ourselves together. And this only comes through great awareness, by changing our perspective, rising above the situation to see it for what it is, even if we don't want to accept that we have, a role in this or accountability in this. Even if we truly believe that our heart was in a good place, or that our actions have always been aligned with whatever truth we believed, Spirit is saying, rise above this, whatever you have been doing, and be a neutral party, because there's something very imbalanced about how you respond or how you react, or your understanding in a situation here isn't clear. It's not clear because we're too much in the weeds of it, or the minutia of it, or our experience is clouding our judgment. And so we're perpetuating something, I feel here, that needs healing, or that doesn't allow this situation to shift. So it's really being of service, but in order to be there for others, we sort of have to work out our own kinks. So we just have to be present from a heart space, accept things sort of as they are, where they're at. And if things are unclear, we accept and understand that we only know what we know, and to not resist or force changes, but to be working with the divine in order for us to be very present, okay, from a loving heart space here. If we can't do or say anything loving, then we don't take action, okay, because in every moment there's always something to be grateful for. So let's see, Spirit. What is this message for pile 1 that they're needing to know right here, right now? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this message. And thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I am so blessed. So we were getting a month. I feel like, I don't know if the last month has been fairly triggering, but I feel like something's going to take time, or now's the time to shift something. So being in this energy for 1 full month consistently from the heart space, not defensive or reactive, then we might shift something here. You know, some trust, it needs to be built here. 4 swords. This is reflecting on pain, okay, but sitting with truth. And so we might be so intertwined in the untruth because we've experienced something that we believe to be true, and that's the moon. So I'll say that again. If our perception of something is very true, it doesn't make it objectively true. It just means we believe something to be true. Okay, and so if we have an understanding that is creating pain and perpetuating pain, and we keep hanging on to that understanding, and then we perpetuate more pain based on that perception we have of our own truth. And Spirit is saying that there is our truth, which we can hang on to, or we can gain a better perspective and understand that there could be many, many, many different ways that we could see that exact same thing and diffuse the energy. Okay, but we really need to reflect, and we need to not be attached to our hurts. We need to not be attached to the pain and the experience of the past. And so at first, we might not want to sit in some sort of in denial. Something's hurt, something's painful. But the more we feed that charge of that hurt, that pain, it happened, and we continuously feed it, we're perpetuating a state of suffering. Okay, so there's a need to understand that the pain is going to happen, but the suffering is a choice. And so the objective, more clear truth is the fact that you're going to bring towards you whatever energy vibration that you're in. So the longer we're sitting here, you know, mulling over whatever's happened, the longer here that we're perpetuating more pain. So I feel like we're defensive, or we're not allowing ourselves to heal. And I don't think you're doing it on purpose. I think you're not seeing, or you don't want to accept this as a truth, because you're very fixated on your attachment here of whatever's happened. Okay, so it has to be consistent effort towards this shift in perspective. Okay, and I can say, well, this isn't right because of this, or that's wrong because of that. It doesn't really matter so much what's right or what's wrong. It's like, do you want to suffer here, or do you want to detach from whatever suffering you have here in order to experience a different reality? The choice is always yours. Okay, so you can choose right now what you want. And so I feel like there is a situation here which could completely shift. And I feel shift for the better, because what we're experiencing right now doesn't feel very good. Okay, and if you're totally happy and fine, then I don't think this is your reading. Okay, so here we have 10 Pentacles. So this is like the thing we can build over time, the structure we could build. You know, this could signify a long-term family committed situation here with the 10 Pentacles. You know, long-term career, or something we could rely on, something we could build, the empire, the stable thing. Okay, so I feel there's a stable thing here. Let's see, are we wanting to build something or create something with the kitchen? King of Wands. So this is the visionary, you know, like understanding how to accomplish the thing, how to build the thing. So if the King of Wands was more focused on what didn't work, then I don't think the King of Wands would be able to build a 10 Pentacles. So the King of Wands keeps his eye on what he wants, the target. Okay, now this doesn't mean that he's very fixed in the step-by-step of how to get there. He just knows the outcome of what he wants, and then he allows the universe to sort of get him to where he wants, trusting, being very confident in his plan here. But he has to be very flexible, or else the King of Wands doesn't end up winning. And the King of Wands always ends up building or getting what it is that he wants. So I feel there's a prize or a something that you want to build or create here. Here's the Princess of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the Page of Pentacles. So we can't start the thing. You know, we won't even see the opportunity if we're too clouded. So the opportunity doesn't manifest itself, doesn't show itself to build up to this empire, because it's going to take the seed and the fostering of the plant, you know, or the seed, fostering the seed to turn into a plant. Again, I'm getting that acorn and that oak tree analogy. It doesn't just flip. It needs nurturing and complete buy-in and support. But if we're not even around to see that we can plant this seed, because we're too focused on the what wasn't there, or what it didn't work, or why we're confused, or what we don't see, we can't build this 10 Pentacles, which I really feel you want. So 4 Wands, yeah, this is family, structure, and finding harmony and celebration and coming together and union and building. So I think you want something positive here, something you can rely on, something you can build with this creation. And Spirit is saying the reason it's not making itself visible here is because of your mind state. And so it's requiring a major shift here, okay? 6 of Swords, getting out of the 5 Swords energy. And 5 Swords energy is not cohesive, because we can't get along, and we can't stay in an energy of sabotage, and we might not be intentionally sabotaging, but if we continue to do the same thing, we will get the same results. I don't care if you think it's right or not. The point being, it's not working. Okay, the Dr. Phil again coming through. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? And so everyone is right when it comes to their own perception of what they've experienced. Or they could say, well, when I do this, and I get that. It's like, okay, good. And then do you want to continue doing that, or do you want to change your circumstances by shifting your energy and getting out of 5 Swords? Okay, so there's a need to get out of 5 Swords, because all it's creating here is suffering for you with the 3 Swords. And so we're not sitting with the truth, we're sitting with the pain. We're not picking up the truth, the objective truth, because we want to sit in our relative truth of the pain, or what we experience, or the being right. Okay, so we're supporting that narrative, that story. 5 Wands, the conflict. Okay, so conflict is challenging when we push up against something and fight something. It strengthens it. So the more we argue, the more arguments we create. And so I feel like we're conflicted. You know, we're conflicted, and it's like, well, if we continue to keep the conflicting thoughts alive, they will continue. Like, we're not clear, we're uncertain, we have lots of clouded judgment, and so the longer we hang on to that, the more it perpetuates that. So at a certain point, we have to say, the fact is that not all the things are revealed to me, and that is a true fact. And there's a reason why not. And so I'm accepting that in time, I will see greater truths. So I don't need to suffer. I don't need to figure it out. I don't need to force the scrolls open. I just need to trust that the scrolls will open as the maps of the future unfold. And all I can do here is prepare to my best ability by not being challenging, you know, because when we are challenging, like I said, we're butting up against something. We're infusing it with energy, and we just build that reaction. So what you fight against, you strengthen that thing. You know, and what you resist persists. So the only way to diffuse and get out of the 5 Swords and get out of 3 Swords and suffering is to accept some great truth. And the great truth is that your energy is the only thing you have control over. So it's time to shift how we're engaged in order for us to get different results, for you to build the thing you want, something you can rely on, for you to be available for the opportunities to actually see it and to nurture this thing. And it might require you to be different than how you are. You know, it might require you being there for other people, tapping into the heart space, leaning into what you could be grateful for in this situation that might be very challenging. Okay? But I feel like there's a lot of healing that comes with this. And so we need to accept things as they are rather than forcing things, and understanding that by doing this, we will align with what we're supposed to, because we're not resisting or fighting anything. Okay? And be confident in this working out as the King of Wands. Okay? Let your best be for your friend. So I feel like there's a need here to be selfless. You know, there really is. And that is opening the heart space. Okay? Because if we're doing sort of good deeds for some sort of intention, then it doesn't become a good deed. That's like, you know, feeding the poor, but then, I don't know, like announcing it on social media. And then, you know, was it really about the poor, or was it about getting attention? It's kind of the same energy. Like, checking our intention here. You know, like, I love my friends. Okay, so what are we doing to be present and accepting of our friend or a partner or whatever, or the situation? Or are we too busy nurturing our own wound? And what about me? You know? Four Swords, bottom of the deck again. Okay, so we're healing from something, and we need to sit in truth. Because I feel like your healing right now is sitting in an energy that's actually doing the opposite of the healing. It's perpetuating the same suffering because of where the mind's at. And yes, we could take however long we want, but this is what's going to dictate how soon you get out of the swing of things. Because I feel like the more we build that story, the more illusion we're sitting in, the more the fear generates, the more confusion generates, and it starts to appear as the truth. And so there's a lot of inertia around this hurt and this mind story. And Spirit's saying we got to diffuse all this nonsense. Okay, it's going to take courage to trust that we were doing it to ourselves. And we have to feel whatever pain, whatever thing that feels uncomfortable here. And once we diffuse it, and then we can lean into changing this dynamic. Okay, and this is where the true beauty is going to happen. So let's see, final words from Spirit. So we have the Prince of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the same as that Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's like we can't rely on anything here to fulfillment if it's blocked. We got to get there first. We got to get the seed implanted in soil. So something's stuck here that we can't rely on or build. Five Swords, as long as we're in the Five Swords, like we talked about, you know, Five Swords, nobody wins. And it's a sabotage. So we could say everyone else is in Five Swords, but we're not looking at everyone else. We're not talking about everyone else. We're looking at our own energy. So how are we dealing with this Five Swords situation? Ace of Swords. So this is the sort of truth we need to pick up. I feel our truth is very skewed over time. Look how rusty this sword looks. It's probably not rust, but even these, like, the rusty is shit. Okay, and so instead of being this like clear, sharp mind, I feel like there's a lot of damage to this mind because we're carrying a lot of understandings and beliefs that we really think are true. And so as long as we attach to those as truths, we'll forever be tainted in our perception, and we'll forever get the same response in our life, in circumstances, even if it's a different circumstance, the same sort of results. Okay, so we need to look at our own sort of truths, our own intention, and understand that every person is going to have their own perception. And so it doesn't matter that most people would say this is right or this looks loving or whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is this situation, whatever current thing you're dealing with in that present moment. Am I doing the most loving thing here, the most supporting thing? Or is it I'm reacting to things of the past? I'm infusing it with reaction. And so I perpetuate this Five Swords. You know, I need to stand up for myself. I need to create this, that, and the other. So we're just sort of generating more toxicity. You don't need to do anything like that. I mean, you could. It's not wrong or right, but what are we experiencing? We're experiencing more people being 5 swords in defensiveness and more suffering. What would the heart do? How can I open this flow? Okay. Yeah, so massive transformation. This is letting go of all the things that don't serve us in order to make space for new. So if we hang on to pains, if we have old mind stories, it's too crowded, it's too noisy, and it doesn't allow for new energy to flow in. So do we want to hold on to old narratives and old stories, or can we allow the shift to happen? So only we hold the key. There's the key here, the king of keys on this white horse, freedom, liberation. We hold the key, the answer, the solution to make the massive change in this situation. It's not the other person or by me leaning into it with more of the same. I got to totally diffuse and change this, which will require a new mindset. Like I said, the mindset now is seeing things completely different. That I want to say, what can I do here to accept wherever this is at, whomever, wherever they're at, accept them, meet them wherever they're at, and do the most loving thing that I can for this situation. And if we don't want to, then we don't have to. It's up to us. But we cannot perpetuate to the state of insanity here and expect different results. So we're not seeing clearly here. Okay, 10 cups. So there's a potential here of absolute happiness. And I feel like we know this. And so this is why we're emotionally driven. But I feel like we're driving with the rusty sword rather than the clear-cut sword of the truth. Because the truth is that everyone has their own perception. So maybe part of whatever you're dealing with your situation, you're right, and part of your situation, maybe someone else is right. And so when we try to force someone else to see our complete way or something like this, then we're not happy, and we create 5 swords for everyone involved. 8 of Wands. This is about communication and about having a breakthrough and forward movement. So Spirit is definitely showing, okay, if we have the intention here of opening the heart space, accepting where people are at, giving from a loving place, seeing how can I be of service? How can I accept the situation and this uncertainty or this lack of clarity or all of these fears I might have in a way here that could be open with my communication, trusting that things will work out here without having to upkeep, fight, defend, coerce, chase, suppress, fight, whatever we're doing here. We got to let go of this. It's not helping our situation. Okay, so we need to speak a truth, but in order to speak the truth, we have to see it clearly. And right now, Spirit's saying you're not seeing the truth clearly. Your truth is skewed with past pains. So just pull back. Really sit with that. And accept that there's many, many shades of the truth here that are outside of your own understanding. And everything's so interconnected. And so when we make a change in that ingredient slightly, we build a different cake altogether. Okay, because the cake you're building right now isn't enjoyable. 6 of Swords. To get out of this 5 swords, we need to reflect on how we're sitting with the pain and how we're nurturing something ongoing that's isn't necessarily true. Okay, so don't lean into it with more aggression or resistance or fighting or defending, especially because we might fear something. So when we fear it, we're very reactionary or we don't understand it, so we try to seek more. No. And go within. The answer is within. Okay, the key is within. So this means pulling back your energy, only examining your own energy, how it is that you've been carrying your truths, how it is you've been engaged, and then you'll see, okay? And then you'll see what's going on here in order for things to move forward and allowing things to unfold as it does, okay? So let's just pull a final message then from Spirit for those of you guys who still have questions regarding this message. Spirit's clear and concise message, final words for pile 1. Anything I've missed, any questions they might still have regarding this immediate message for the next 7 days, they need to know. We have the Prince of Swords in reverse. So that's retreating energy. That's the Knight of Swords. So instead of being combative, having words, feeling we're right, this is like confronting, it's It's offensive energy. It's saying pull back your energy, the Hierophant, and examine, you know, what's more important here. What lessons have I learned here? So we can commit ourselves to something greater than just I want to be right, or I want to fight against this, or I want to prove a point, or I want to confront someone or something and be combative. The 5 Swords. Yeah, because we just perpetuate the 5 Swords. Taurus energy. What else, Spirit, does pile number 1 need to know then about the situation? So we have the Ace of Cups. That's an emotional new beginning. And I feel like we could certainly have a new beginning here, you know, but this is coming from the heart space. So we have the 3 of Pentacles working together, creating and manifesting the thing. We have to collaborate. So if we expect others to work with us and to create something, we have to be in workable energy. And right now it's saying you're not in workable energy. Okay, 8 of Wands. And this was in reverse. So something stopped or stuck. Temperance, need for balance and healing. 3 Cups, forgiving, reconciling, accepting, you know, accepting our situation, the people involved, in order to restore balance. Meeting them where they're at. Embracing and celebrating people, seeing the gratitude. 6 of Cups. This is reconciliation. This is making peace. You know, person, place, thing of the past. And this is coming together, and this is gift offering and reconciliation. So I feel like we can create an imbalance if we hang on to pains and we keep it alive. And so that's a form of sabotage we might not realize we're doing, because there might be a fear in the alternative, or a fear in seeing ourselves from a place that we might have not have seen ourselves, that we've been perpetuating maybe an unhealthy dynamic, you know, because maybe in our mind we might have thought it was for good intention, but good intention for who? Are we completely being of service to people in our situation by being selfless? Or are we getting triggered and traumatized and maybe, you know, like blocking people or resisting people or confronting people and being, I don't know, having to have some sort of last word or be right, you know? So you could continue that if you want, but Spirit is saying the only way to have a new beginning, to instill this beautiful change, to work together, is to be in workable energy. So you can create the new, you know, and it starts with self. This is the self. 1 cup. You know, you got to be balanced. You got to be in workable energy. You need to be healed. You need to fulfill your own cup. Nobody owes you anything. So if you expect someone to be some certain way or do something, or them to come into balance, and we get triggered because they don't, Spirit is saying you're going to perpetuate always being disappointed. Because the objective truth here is that nobody will owe you anything at all. You could believe they do, but then you're perpetuating the rusty sword, you know, the untruth, and sit with pain and keep experiencing letdowns. So nobody owes you anything here, okay? So pile number 1, this is your beautiful reading. I hope this helped provide you some insight to your mindset in order for you to create the change you want to see here, okay? But it's always about what can I do to be of service, to come from a loving heart place, you know? That's not from a defensive place or trying to force something here or someone to do something, okay? So this will provide healing, but I feel like the purity here with the white horse and the white garb, it's like about my purest state that comes from the right here. It isn't injecting any of my traumas of the past or experience of the past that are projecting into the situation. You know, with the Hierophant, certain understandings I have from upbringing and from what I was taught to believe. All of that is sort of conditioning that doesn't need to be instilled here at all, okay? It's just perpetuating more cloud energy and more of the stuff you don't want to see. So I love you guys very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys pick card 23, Anchor to Fly, and Big Sis, Big Sister. We're looking at an immediate message from Spirit right here, right now. The next 7 days, any guidance or anything you're needing to know from Spirit. We have pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at. This will give you an opportunity to tap into your intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this, okay? So if you're already in tune with your intuition, you can go straight away to the channeling and see what the message is, okay? But if you're still developing your intuition, then I do suggest you sit through the card layout and tap your intuition into mine. Okay, so let's do an energy check here and see if some of this resonates for you. But anchored to fly could certainly be, we have some sort of understanding or belief that is out there. Okay, it's out there, which is great, but we might need to remain grounded. Our feet don't touch the ground here. And so it might seem like something that might seem impossible. It's like pie in the sky, and we might be seeing what the potential could be. And it's like, how do I now fulfill this? How do I now bring this to being? And so there's a confirmation here that there's a way to ground whatever this is, okay? So it's not just a wish or a fart in the wind, a big wish and a hope, that there is a way for you to ground whatever this thing is, okay? This dream or this thing that you have your mind set on. But we need to sort of bring it back down to earth. And so I feel like with this big sis, some of you guys might have a big sister. Take that as confirmation if you do, or an older sister, big sister, okay? Literal, then that could just be confirmation. This is your reading, what we're about to read, okay? Even with all the birds here, that's about siblings, okay? But I feel like this is guidance, I feel, from someone, and most likely a divine feminine, but it doesn't have to be, but somebody who's receptive enough, I feel here, with guiding you in a way here that allows you to ground something. Like you're not in it on your own. Like you either have guidance from, a divine feminine, or somebody who's very receptive to you, your ideas, your beliefs, or is just there sort of as moral support, or however this person is around you. I feel like it is your anchor in order for you to allow yourself to explore maybe areas here that might be a little bit challenging because maybe it's uncharted territory, or maybe it is, we're not sure what we could experience, and so it could be scary flying by your own, okay? But in order to fly, in order for something to grow, so expanding your business or leaping into something here, it's like you have the support and you have people around you. You'll have what you need here in order to remain grounded. But I feel like it's something very, like your feet don't even touch the ground. So I feel like it's something very, like, breathtaking here in a way that's almost too good to be true or unreal, and then it could definitely, like, I don't know, like multiply into something here that might seem very unrealistic. So there's a need to find balance, and there's a need to ground certain things to keep it in the real, and so I don't know if maybe you feel like you're having to prove yourself in front of a lot of different people as well. So maybe you're flying against cultural norms, or flying against a community of people, or flying against something, that feels like it's I don't know, you against the community, or like odds are against you, is kind of what I feel. But I feel like you have buy-in and support here, definitely from someone, and they might give you the resources even, or just be a soft place here for you to spitball, or to allow you to take a step here, but by being still grounded. Yeah. Okay, let's see. This is beautiful energy, I feel. So gardening, manifesting, planting, reaping. So as we know, when we do gardening, we have to sort of keep it real, right? We can't just put the seed and forget all about it, or else it kind of this pie in the sky idea that we're going to grow all this fruit and veggies. It's like we still got to be grounded enough to do the right things, to take the right action. Yeah, you're being asked to take certain steps here, I feel, okay? But you have all the support here, because we can have some big fantastical idea and not follow through here. So we have the mugwort, okay? And we have the burial ground. Interesting energy. And we have the pitcher of water being poured into the glass. So water could signify emotions, expressing self, maybe having to contain oneself here rather than just flying wild. Okay, we have encounter. This is 2 butterflies. We got some more actually. So a few butterflies in this forest. So these trees, the tree trunks, these look like bamboo. Bamboo is very flexible, but they're also very fixed where they're at. It's very difficult to break bamboo here. So it's a need to be flexible but firm. And we have keep peace with the earth and work. So I'm only getting this gardening, you know, like being flexible with keep the peace, but then the work, like we got to put in the work, put in the effort, put the past behind us. Okay, we have Radha with soul flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. This is burial ground. Experience relationship harmony and healing. Wow. Okay, and then we have the 8 of keys, the master artisan. Wow, so yeah, he's definitely creating something here. And we have 3 of forces, the bird's nest. So this is the security. You know, and if we're going to take something off the ground, we want to be protected or safe or know that we could trust. This almost feels like a launch of a business or something here. The Akashic field, look at that, 1 of forces. So these are the northern lights. And so it's our ancestors. You know, folklore says it's our ancestors. Instead of crossing over, they're sort of here trapped between worlds, watching over, providing guidance here. Okay, and the planet of Uranus. So Uranus is the great awakener with Aquarius energy. It says, stir up the situation by using, be open to new ideas about, and invent a way to. Wow. And we have the 12th house with introspection. So the 12th house is all about endings. It's also about healing, closure, spirituality, solitude. It's also about limiting beliefs in the subconscious. Okay, number 50 or the number 5. And then we have Vesta with Hearth. So this is giving me this bird's nest energy. 32. So now we have another 5. 5s are all about conflict and loss, but it's also about change and rebuild, which I feel more here. This rebuild. Owl spirits, you see clearly now. Owl's about wisdom. 43 or the number 7. And we have the rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time with 49 or the number 13, which is all about transformation. It's the death card in the tarot. Okay, so let's tap into this mugwort card because I feel like we might get some clarity around this energy. It says the unassuming mugwort is a herb of many uses, including protection, consecration, uncovering memory, enhancing dreams, and guidance. As its scientific name hints at, mugwort is associated with the goddess Diana and women's mysteries. It has a reputation for being a wayfinder and a gateway to extrasensory perception, which is why it's used in charms to protect travelers of all kinds. Also, mugwort helps the dying and deceased from their way as they cross over to the next state of being. Burial ground and the ancestors here that have crossed over. This is very interesting energy. Okay, wow. It helps the dying and deceased find their way as they cross over to the next state. Okay. Consort with mugwort to open the door to experiencing visionary dreams, but take care to be respectful or you may get more than you bargained for. Do not turn your nose up at the ordinary and commonplace. Just because something is readily available doesn't mean it's less valuable or effective than more difficult to acquire or expensive things. Everyday witchcraft is sourced from what is at our fingertips. You may feel like you have lost your way or are stuck in a rut. Look to mugwort for guidance to illuminate the path before you and show you new opportunities. Okie dokie. beautiful pile number 2. This message is talking about something you're taking off the ground. Okay? And it could easily spiral into something here. Because I feel like we have to kind of keep it real by nurturing and tending to it and keeping it grounded. Okay? And specifically ourselves. So we might have big visions, big dreams, big hopes, which is awesome. Okay, because you are certainly transitioning from maybe where you were playing it safe, where things were safe, and so now we're transitioning. And so Spirit is saying, like, we have to make sure that, yes, the divine does allow things to shift and manifest, but it doesn't mean that we don't have skin in the game in order for us to nurture and put in the energy towards making sure that this thing takes off in the proper way. Okay, so I feel like you have the support from the universe. And like I said, it comes in most likely form of a person here. Okay, and like I said, it could certainly be like a divine feminine energy, like a big sister here pulls through. But this is like somebody who has the resources, or somebody who supports your idea, or somebody who says, hey, yeah, I know who to put you in touch with here to ground this idea you have, you know. So I think you're being led, okay, certainly by the universe, but the universe is giving you this message of saying, hey, like, do what you can, you know, whatever you can in this earthly plane in order for you to support whatever this is. No dream is too big as long as we sort of stay grounded here. We have to be flexible, you know, and be able to bend, but not give up on our dream or idea, but still be flexible. So I feel like there's a need to contain your ideas in a way here that is functional. There's a way to, you know, like trust that we could still transition here safely. I feel like some of you guys are investing either in a business or creating something here that would require you to invest, you know. So Spirit's saying, like, don't invest your whole sort of life savings here without a plan or a purpose. Understand that we still have some sort of skin in the game in order to guide this. So I feel like this could be something we put in the back burner, you know, like maybe we tried it before and it didn't work out. And so it's like, learn from the past, what didn't work, you know. Or we could have somebody who's feeding us information who says, here's my experience. And so we've learned from their sort of tragedy, if you will, or maybe it was a parent or a loved one or something that didn't succeed, or we see what won't work, so now we sort of know what would. But I feel like Spirit is saying, like, allow the ideas to flow and allow yourself to nurture these ideas in a way that keeps them grounded but allows things to move. And I feel like this is going to provide you with great abundance here with this hearth. It's going to provide you with security. Okay, but I feel like there's a need to sort of rebuild self and allow things to organically transition out, which might seem scary, you know, but this is where the transformation is happening in order for things to manifest. So now's the lucky time, because I do feel like we're birthing this project, this business, or this idea. And it will be rewarding, but it's going to take some time. So if we get discouraged because we don't see anything right away, Spirit is saying, like, keep at it, keep it grounded, you know, and you will have the right people or the right support, the right resources here in order for it to manifest. So let's take a look. Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile 2. What else is being said here? What they're needing to hear, what they're needing to know in the next 7 days. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much. And we have the 2 cups. Balance, harmony, the right relationships to harmonize whatever this is. I feel like with cups talking about emotions, something you're very connected to, but also our creative passions, you know, like working with the right business partners, working with the right people, finding harmony and flow is very important here. So we have 9 swords, so we might have a lot of anxiety, you know, So this is like our thoughts could get in the way of us allowing things to flow. And Spirit is saying, like, don't get in your own way. Don't get the best of you with the thoughts. That what won't work. 5 of Swords in reverse. So we don't want to be in a state where, you know, we create the challenge by looking at all the things that won't work or letting the anxiety drive. We got to get out of that. And that's the only way to sort of find harmony and bring in the right people and resources. The Lovers. So now I have the 2 of Cups and the Lovers. So if some of you guys were looking at getting the right publisher or working with the right person to you know, I don't know, like get something off the ground, that person is coming. That pathway is open for you. Okay? And don't fear that, oh, maybe I'll never find the right business partner, or maybe the circumstances won't shift here for me. Spirit is saying, like, it's there and it's available to you. And that is your destined purpose and path. Okay, but we got to sort of get out of our own sort of mind in order to see this path. The Hierophant in reverse. And so we can't be fixed on an idea of what it should look like. I feel like this is think outside the box in order for the pathway to become available. Thinking outside the box is being flexible. Okay, not being sort of fixed and traditional. So we might have a lot of anxiety around this, but I feel like this is Spirit saying this is the divine path. And so if we resist when there is an opportunity because it doesn't seem conventional, we might miss our opportunity to work with the right people here, because maybe it's not how we expected or what we thought, you know. But I feel like this is what's required in order for something to shift or to take off. And so we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is beautiful. So the beginning manifestation of something that can build to something very profitable for you. Yeah, new beginning of something very profitable for you here with the Ace of Pentacles and the 8 Wands. Is going to go very quickly. So very, very quick energy here. It's going to move quick. And like I said, your feet don't touch the ground. So I don't know. This is like, do you blow up? You know, do you become like an overnight sensation or something here? Or your book takes off or your art takes off? There's something here that's going to go very quickly, you know, from seed to fruition here. And this is why this message is coming out, because I think there's a need to remain grounded, contain your success, nurture, still follow some sort of process, okay, but not be so fixed in how you think it should happen or how it normally happens, because I feel like there's something about this happening sort of in a way you don't really expect, you know, which requires you to be very flexible. 3 of Cups in reverse. I feel like there might be people around you against you, like I said at the beginning. They might not support you or understand you, or they might give you, I don't know, it might be that they might be thinking they're coming from a good place, but I feel like it's like casting shade. Maybe you don't feel like these people support you, or now that you, I don't know, hit it big, or like, I feel like there's something here that moves very fast. And so it's like, who can I trust, you know? And maybe your old group of friends or our old community is just not doing it anymore for us. They don't support us. They don't have buy-in. They might seem like they're not supporting our new world or have the same belief as we do in our business. And so we might want to distance ourselves from people who aren't harmonious. So we're going from, you know, a group of people here who aren't adding any value to what we're creating, to aligning ourselves with the right people, you know. And it could be a family member, like literally with this big sis, okay, but I don't know, someone who we can rely on. And I feel like they have skin in the game here too, or they're just your support, your backbone, you know. And for some of you guys, it could even be a partner, okay, like a partner we find, like a lover. Okay, a lover, a partner who has our back, who supports us. And so we might have to understand who doesn't support us in our world, you know, and what's destructive here. Like something could be certainly destructive or non-supportive of this growth, this rapid growth. And so I might feel like, well, this is kind of going against, you know, what these people might have told me or thought. But I feel like your feet don't even touch the ground. And so we might have one understanding that, okay, like we see the seed, the potential. And so the intention might be, you know, to, I don't know, however long we think this garden is going to take. But then all of a sudden, overnight, there's like this rapid sort of movement here and growth, which isn't traditional here. And it requires you to detach maybe from certain groups of people, or maybe a platform or something here that doesn't support you or allow the growth to happen in a flexible way. So let's see, Spirit, what is this about? Clear and concise message. You know, like, and I'm even getting like our soul family that might have supported us when we were amateur or when we were at one state, and now it's time to fly the coop. You know, and whoever sort of supports you, supports you. Spirit, clear and concise message here for beautiful pile number 2. I feel like there's definitely like a closure of something, you know, like we're closing out an old sort of thing, you know. It could have been family members too. I don't know, like maybe relatives, certain people that just might have filled a purpose at some point. Spirit, clear and concise message. What am I missing here for pile 2? What are they needing to know about this right here, right now message? Thank you so much, spirits. Any questions they might still have, anything that I might have missed in this message. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse, and we have the 8 of Wands. Again, very fast. We have the Starman. Wow, that's the Magician. Beautiful energy. Virgo and Gemini. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the 6 Swords. And we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And here we have the Ace of Swords. And under the Ace of Swords, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so beautiful pile number 2. I feel like there is an old world of yours, okay, where I feel like it wasn't working in that world because we needed new soil to support this new idea, or just a new group of people, new resources, or whatever this idea or this growth or this expansion is. Okay, I feel like there's something you can no longer depend on, a group of people or whatever the thing was here, in order for you to align yourself with manifesting the expansion of something, the growth of something, which might be in a complete different arena than you're used to. Okay, so I feel like we got to leave something behind, beautiful people. Okay, and that's how we would engage or interact with that world, because it no longer is serving the purpose here that will allow us to grow or fly or expand. And so we might have to speak some harsh truths here in order to be honest, you know, to speak our truth in order to soar and to manifest what we want. But I feel like this takes a lot of courage, because we got to detach and let go and make big shifts, big changes. Like this Starman is a lot of tower energy involved with the Magician. You know, it's like we are the master manifester, but we have to allow things to shift in significant ways and be courageous to lean into it in order for there to be change. And I feel like, look at this, how powerful this card is, you know. And I feel like when we're in this energy, what's not meant for us falls away, but I feel it pulls in your support with that 2 of Cups, you know, to really sort of ground you in this energy in order to go through this transition. Because I feel like you can no longer keep going down maybe the path that you were, you know, like there's an acceptance of, I have to come out of one state and go into another. And I do feel like there could be people who are, I want to say gossiping, but maybe slandering, or maybe like, I don't know, saying certain things here, you know, that might be discouraging. And so there's a need to not like, look at this energy. Like I said, it's like, where's that Starman? Sorry, I thought we had Starman here. It's not allowing anything to, I don't see it here. It's not allowing anything or anyone to detour it. Okay, so Spirit, final message here for pile 2. Final message. What are they needing to know? Clear and concise message. Any guidance? Anything else? Anything I've missed? So we have the Sun in reverse, Leo energy. And we have the Three Swords. And we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Emperor in reverse, Aries energy, Leo energy. And we have the Five of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Judgment. And we have the King of Pentacles. Under that, we have the Nine Wands. Okay, so this is like a bittersweetness here. Okay, so I feel like you're building your legacy. Okay, something you can definitely commit to and build. I think things become very clear, or they're not very clear right now. You know, like very clear to you, the circumstances that you're in. And so I feel like you have to make certain actions and take certain actions based on truths that might not be very pleasant here. And so when we have to part with certain things and certain people, I feel like it's, you know, there's sadness that comes with this, because I feel like we can no longer work in that small, confined, or whatever. So there is some sadness, you know, like I thought I would, I don't know, like maintain the same location for this business, but now that I'm expanding, I have to part with that location. Or, you know, I thought I'd have this group of employees or teammates, but it's like I got to say goodbye, you know, like maybe it would require you to quit your job in order to move, or I don't know, there's something here that brings sadness because you're parting, but I feel like this is the only way for us to allow the happiness sort of to come in of the new. So I feel like in your world, there's an inability here to work in the state that you're in because circumstances won't allow for the growth. And I feel like instead of getting into a back and forth or creating any sort of tension, drama, or whatever, I see that you're just moving away from whatever this is, allowing the new to happen. There's something bigger, better on the horizon, you know, that you know is coming, that's going to bring you more joy, that you don't want to sacrifice or risk, you know, staying in sort of a dead end situation when you know that there's something you can build to. So I feel like you do have support and you will have the resources. It is going to align you with something fabulous here, but it does require you to leave certain set of circumstances behind, you know, so you'll get through it. It is challenging, but the Spirit is saying, like, remember to stay grounded, you know, remember to stay flexible, but grounded here, you know, and not everyone is going to want to support you, and that's okay, because whatever you need in order for you to move along in the right direction is going to come, you know, most likely in form of someone providing resources or support, but that's all you really need. And just to have buy-in from yourself here to sort of fly the coop. Okay, beautiful pile number 2. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, beautiful pile number 3. You guys got the Safe to Fall card 10 and the Heart Charm. Let's get into this energy shortly, shall we? So we're looking at an immediate message right here, right now from Spirit, guidance for the week ahead, and what it is that you're needing to hear. Okay, so I haven't looked at these cards. We pre-shuffled these, and in order to tap into your intuition, I do ask you sit through the card layout and really lean into what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this messaging is right for you. If you're already sort of tuned into your intuition, you can click on the channel message. Okay, so what is this about? Safe to fall, safe to trust something here, you know, surrender. So this would require leaning into something and trusting it'll work out, or letting go of something and trusting it will work out. But either way, I feel like it's matters of the heart, you know, so it could be a romantic love situation or just something you're very emotionally attached to or connected to. Trusting the divine and taking action on something, or just surrendering and releasing, you know, where we feel it's completely out of our control. And we might have to trust someone else, and that might be very difficult for us to do. Now I just heard a gift. I feel like you're being given a gift here, okay? A gift of love, which is absolutely beautiful. And in order for us to receive love, okay, I was going to say receive a gift. In order for us to receive love, we have to be open to give love, okay? And so that might be very difficult to do. Some people have a difficult time receiving, and some people have a very difficult time giving. Okay, but we cannot receive if we cannot give, and we cannot give if we can't receive, because then there's a block. So I feel like we're opening the heart space, learning to trust, And I do feel there's another involved. And so birds also talk about communication. So maybe we have to trust what we're saying or trust what people are saying to us, you know. It could be, like I said, in a romantic relationship or just in a situation with someone else. It could be a sibling. Okay, birds sometimes represent siblings, but either way, it's a loving relationship here. And I feel like you'll be given a gift. And I feel like someone really appreciates you. Okay, there's an appreciation here that I'm feeling here. So let's see. Wow, this is beautiful energy. We have the nettle, boundaries and caution. So this is, again, like, can I trust? You know, do I need to keep a wall here or a distance? Or can I just allow myself to trust? Peacock. So the peacock talks about ego, but this is self-expression. Like I said, the communication. Okay, being our authentic self, to express and communicate the trueness, to be seen for who we are. But sometimes the peacock could be showing off, you know. And sometimes the peacock could certainly be talking about protection with the eyes of the peacock. So we're protected. Let's see what pulls through. And we have this person sort of covering their face or their mouth, again with the expression. We're not talking some sort of truth here. Are we have boundaries around speaking or truth of how we truly feel? And we have the storm cloud with the lightning, turbulency, the emotions. We have truth, yeah, speaking some sort of truth, authenticity coming out again, expressing self, being seen. Enter the temple invisible, prayer. 35, enter the temple invisible. 35, or the number 8. Yeah, like a gift, like a blessing here with the prayer. But when we enter the temple invisible, this is like checking our intentions, you know. Okay. Cernunos, with life force, express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Wow. Masculine energy with the antlers. But again, the expression here. And we have white eagle, ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Wow. So we might have an ancestral wound around some sort of form of expressing authenticity or sexual energy, sensual energy, trust. I'm getting a lot of sacral from this orangey energy. So being vulnerable. And we have the treasure, 2 keys. So this is like the gift I'm seeing here again. Look at the treasure trunk is open. The treasure, 2 keys. 8 of forces, more lightning, the lightning bolt. Oh my goodness, you guys, look at that. So lightning is very energetically charged. It's very sudden. Lightning could be Uranus, Aquarius energy. I'm feeling tower energy, something sudden. Okay, and then we have 5 of forces, summer, winter. And these could be read upside down or right side up. So I'm getting more duality here, you know, summer versus winter, like cold energy and stuck, boundary, space, frozenness, and then summer, more open, more flowing, more positive energy here, because now we have life flowing. It's not in a frozen state. So maybe we're stuck with a choice. Aquarius, you know, which we were really feeling Aquarius from the Uranus energy from the lightning. So it says your vision, what's new and different about, and use an unconventional way. Okay, well, lightning could be an unconventional approach. Gemini, communication. It says cross-pollinate, how we work with others. Gemini is the communicator here. Number 3. 3 is all about growth, relationships, initial success. Okay, and then we have the moon with perception. Moon can talk about fears, emotions. You know, the sacral's emotions. And then, of course, the heart can certainly talk about things that we're emotionally attached to. 19 is sun energy. Sun is Leo. Okay, sun is summer energy. The moon is divine feminine. So now we have masculine, feminine energy, which I'm getting the 2 and the balance again. And we've got perception, the way we see things. And we have solar flares. So we have the moon and the sun. Solar flares is like an intense energy here with the lightning. Intensity, activate, awaken. Great awakener here with Uranus energy is like an awareness of something. 17 is star energy, a wish. Okay. And we have parrot, spirit, watch your words. Okie dokie, 45. Could be a significant number, could be an age. It's also number 9. 9 is hermit, introspection, and Virgo energy. Okay, I have tarot, which I'll pull, but this message is coming through quite strong. I'm not sure the point of it so much just yet, but let's see. And then I will pull some tarot to get some clarity here for you. Caution, watch your words. Look at this body language. This lady's covering her mouth, and look at this guy's covering his mouth. Like, wowzers. Okie dokie. Okay, pile number 3. We'll peel this back, okay? And only take the messages that resonate, because I feel there might be a group of you guys, and so there's some factors for some of you guys, not for all of you guys. Okay? So let's peel some of this back. I feel as though what I said about this was totally what was pulling through. There's someone you're dealing with, I feel here, okay, that we're engaged with in some way. And I feel like there's something pushing you outside of your comfort zone to speak a truth or to be seen or express something here, which would require you to trust and be vulnerable, you know? And so I feel like we need to understand ourselves. And I feel like this enter the temple invisible is really talking about why are we saying or doing what we're saying or doing, and to really check our intentions. Are we creating the opposite of what we want based on our words and our action? Or are we in line with the authenticity that's within us to create an outcome here that's aligned with that truth? Because there could be a form of resistance here when we don't speak our truth, or for some of you guys where we say certain things that we might not mean, which generates and perpetuates some sort of thing that isn't in line with what we want, either which way. And so there's a need to humble ourselves, but to come in an open energy of trusting the divine and trusting the situation that you're in without a need to defend or to say anything to manipulate. So there might be a lot of like you might carry a preconceived idea of who you have to be, what you have to say in order to be seen or accepted or appreciated. And so you might be doing these things, but I feel like it's not in line with what you believe or the truth of who you are. And so it's not really aligning you towards this beautiful thing that could be a gift, because we want the gift to be aligned with our truest self. We don't want to always have to put on a show and not be yourself. Okay, and sometimes it's perfectly fine to not really appear in any way and be completely humble in how we show up with this enter the temple invisible and trusting the divine, but just stepping into a situation and trusting that it's going to unfold. That shows trust and in the divine. That shows that we're trusting that we're taking this leap or we're moving forward, that whatever unfolds sort of unfolds here as a gift, because I feel there is a gift from the divine and we might know it, okay, with this treasure, but maybe we feel like we can only deserve it or accept it if we're in a certain way. our understanding of something has been one sort of thing. And so I feel like with this Hermit's Lantern, and we were feeling Hermit energy from, I don't know which one it was, but it was coming through here with the card layout. I feel like there's some inner understanding of something that you have, okay? And I feel like a lot of what we carried could have been ancestral wounds and beliefs and systems that were set up from trauma past, trapped in the sacral, so I can't be vulnerable or trust. You know, and so when something happens, we might get very heavily charged with our own sort of mind story and whatever. And a spirit is saying, allow whatever is happening to unfold in a way without infusing it, okay, with some sort of projection or making it worse by, like, I don't know, like trying to appear in a way that you really aren't, okay, or putting up a boundary. However you respond to the thing here, I feel is very much, you need to be in tune with the divine energy wanting you just to sort of surrender to what is, allow things to unfold without trying to manipulate, okay? Because I feel like the choice is yours, and it's going to impact the situation here either for the positive or keep things sort of stuck. But it's really up to you whether it's going to flourish or not flourish, whether there's going to be, I don't know, like a flurry of outbursts here because we might have said or did something or pushed someone away, and with this boundary thing, or didn't trust ourselves, and so it appeared as though we didn't trust who we were dealing with. But either which way, there's a need to remove the false self, to work together, to speak openly about what we're feeling and thinking, and express this in a way that trusts what's going to unfold. Okay, but I feel like we need to understand where these words are sort of coming from, or actions where those are coming from with the watch your words. Like, why are we doing or saying what we're doing or saying? And so I think we need to approach it differently than how we normally approach it. And so there's something here about your understanding with the Hermit's Lantern. Your perception is what creates the fear, the unknown, or the thing that we respond to or react. And so there's like a sort of an instant sort of trigger here. We sort of react the way we react, you know, and then we sort of generate something here that maybe we don't need to generate so much. But I feel like there is some healing you're doing here with the prayer, and this a family wound or pattern can be healed now. And it's saying your awareness of this within you and observing this with the Hermit's Lantern will allow you to make changes. Because I feel like maybe we have struggled with intimacy or expressing ourselves when it comes to sexual energy or our passions or desires. And so we might feel very charged, but we might be restricting ourselves or holding back instead of allowing ourselves just to be seen and accept that what we want is sort of the truth of what we want. But only we can remove all the uncertainty in the clouds here. So I feel like there's confusion in regards to how you're supposed to be or say. And by some of you guys creating boundaries or blocks or not going after it, shows the universe I'm not interested, but it's stemmed from a family wound. And then some of you guys may be saying the opposite and creating sabotage rather than accepting a beautiful gift to be able to receive and give, you know, and work together here with the beast to create something here and manifest something here. Okay, so we're needing to be very aware of our own sort of intention or in our own action and words. So Spirit, clear and concise message here. What are we missing here for pile 3 in this next 7 days? This immediate message, guidance from Spirit. What exactly is pile 3 needing to hear? Let's grab these cards. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, spirits. What is this message about for pile 3? So we have the 7 of Cups. So this could be a lot of confusion, you know, but a lot of choices, and the choice is ours. But we could create, like I said, the clouds here is upkeeping the confusion by not being specific or precise or leaving things vague, you know, but having maybe a dream or a vision or a fantasy of something, but just keeping it sort of, I don't know, not taking action or not owning it, you know, not owning it. The Devil. Yeah, so ancestral wounds here that keep us back from the things we want. And so things are clouded or not very pointed or specific. 6 Cups, person, place, thing of the past that speaks to us. So I'm getting ancestral wounds here with the Devil and 6 Cups. You know, this is the inner child. So I have trauma. I have things that need to be embraced from within me that are keeping me held back. That might be unhealthy ways of being that don't allow me to embrace what it is that I truly want inside. And look at all these stars, Aquarius energy. So this is the vision, the hope we have of something we want to attain. We are getting star energy from this too. So I have a lot of passion around this thing, what I want, you know, or just unhealed traumas here from childhood, how to express myself, how to be honest and communicate. So we have Capricorn energy. 4 Swords, healing, reflecting, the High Priestess in reverse. So not seeing or working with the intuition. So rather than accepting certain things that aren't readily available, we suppress or don't see or deny because we're held back by traumas or pains. And we have the Emperor. So this is about being empowered, going after what we want. You know, the Emperor doesn't run in fear. The Emperor does what's right. This is divine masculine energy, very empowered. So do we have unhealthy ways of coping right now? Stem from childhood that's going against what we intuitively know, because we need to do some healing and get empowered. And so we're keeping things fairly confusing. But we see what we want for the future for ourselves, but we're sort of clouding the situation. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So we need to let go of Devil. We need to get out of our comfort zone. We have to learn it's safe to fall. This is trusting to let go, not to be held back. And we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe for some of us, do we lose confidence in ourselves? And so we just give up before we've got started and just keep something in a fantasy realm. Like, this could never be for me. I don't see how this would happen. I just give up. I don't invest. And so I just sort of stay here in this fantasy state. But this would be Devil. This holds me back from going after what I want. Because maybe I tell myself that I've been hurt in the past, or that I'm carrying these hurts that I cannot get empowered, I can't take charge of my life, or I can't be precise, I can't act on something, I'm not confident to accomplish something here, because that would require me to let go or to trust the fall, trust myself. 3 of Cups in reverse, and the Alien. So this is the Hermit. This is knowing thyself. But maybe when we know thyself, we see a self here with the Alien that maybe is very foreign than what we thought that we were. Maybe we understood ourselves to be one way. And it's like when we truly tap into who we are in this intuition, we find there's someone here who's very different. You know, someone we have to accept within us. And in order to accept this being that's within us, we have to be very authentic and honest and express self. The Devil and the 3 of Cups for me is all about distraction. So this could be distracting ourselves with things. 7 Cups as well. Like people, places, or things that keep us distracted. And we use it as a crutch. We use it as a crutch in order to stay safe, or not allow ourselves to get empowered, to make big decisions. So our group of friends might be very challenging, you know, just unhealthy habits, unhealthy ways we distract ourselves. So we got to go within and accept and embrace ourselves and our inner child, no matter how different it might seem, no matter how foreign it might seem. You know, we support ourselves. And I feel like there's a passion brewing here with this Ace of Wands. I feel like divine is pulling you to make a decision towards your truth and acting in line with that, because that's what's going to heal the ancestral wounds. And so I feel like, I don't know, there might be a gift here that you might feel is too good to be true, or some sort of major realization that you have to have in order to support yourself, to go after what you want. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to lean into something or let go of something. There's no need to put up a boundary, but allow yourself to trust. So Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile 3. What is this about? Can we get a little bit more clarity? Any questions they might have? Anything I'm missing? Clear and concise message here for pile number 3. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is the reliable mother card, something we can rely on, someone we can rely on. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Page of Wands. That's exploring. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Something out of balance, or the need to flow, the giving and receiving. Okay, like I said, if we can't give, we can't receive. And if we can't receive, we can't give. And so there's an imbalance here. And we have to be someone that's reliable, or there's someone that we can rely on here in order to explore and trust with that Page of Wands. Ace of Cups, new beginning, opening the heart space. King of Swords, that's the mind. So the King of Swords gets stuck in his mind sometimes trying to come up with strategies or understandings. And then the Three of Swords in reverse. And we have the Starman. Or just the Star. Sorry, I thought this was the Starman. And Six Cups again. So, Star. Hopes, wishes, attaining something, healing ancestral wounds, healing inner child, person, place, thing of the past, something that speaks to our heart. Okay, really speaks to our heart here. We're really connected. And I feel like for some of you guys, it could be a person here, or someone that we could rely on, depend on, a situation. Okay, but I feel like what we need to do is open up our heart space in order to have a new beginning, connect to self with that Hermit and that alien energy here, and allow ourselves to understand when we're of the mind or in the mind, you know, because the mind could certainly be getting in the way of the heart. And so I feel like there's a need to trust ourselves to explore here with Safe to Fall. The Page of Wands is like this inner child who explores, allows himself to move towards what he wants, and then understand that any imbalance here where we can't give or receive is stemmed from trauma, from Three Swords that we need to heal in our heart space, you know. And so it has nothing to do with this current situation. It's all the hurts that I carry in my heart. If I don't trust, if I'm not confident in myself, if I'm incapable of giving or receiving, it's because there's some hurts that I'm carrying here. And so this might get in the way of me attaining what I want, this vision for the future and healing, because I feel very connected to whatever this is. And so Spirit is saying, like, you're due for this new beginning. And this comes from the inside out with the Hermit here. Loving thyself, knowing thyself, filling one's own cup, recognizing where the devil is getting involved. Okay. And then knowing that we can depend on certain people here who have been reliable. This is nurturing, caring, reliable, grounded energy that I feel is in your energy field here. So whether this is you or someone you can rely on, I feel like this is support for you. Whereas this King of Swords, I feel like this is you sort of getting in your own mind. So let's see. Why is this Queen of Pentacles here, spirits? So we have the Starman in reverse. So heavy Virgo energy. And then Gemini and Taurus, Capricorn. So I feel like there's a block here. And maybe you trusting or working with someone that would require you to shift your world here, because this Starman is the Magician, but it is like in the book, its definition is kind of like tower energy, because we have to allow lots to fall apart, and we're getting a lot of tower energy from your reading. And so for things to fall apart, it's all the things that are no longer sort of sustainable as they are. And so they need to be deconstructed. And we might be hanging on to certain things rather than depending and trusting on the things we can. And so in order to manifest a new beginning and manifest, in order to give and receive, we can't create blocks here. And so I feel like there's a block here in manifesting and trusting, relying on someone who might be there that you could depend on because of some unhealthy hurt here. Okay, so I'm going to ask Spirit for a sort of guidance, what you're needing to know then. Can we get some guidance for pile number 4? If this isn't you, this could be somebody you're dealing with here, okay? So guidance for pile number 4 in regards to what are they being asked them to do? There's a heaviness here on being authentic, expressing our truth. 7 Wands, fighting for what we believe in. 4 of Swords in reverse. So acknowledging that we might need to heal and reflect and not be defensive or resist. 3 Cups. This is all about coming together, reconciliation, friend groups. We have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, King of Pentacles. So now we saw the King and the Queen of Pentacles. And finally, why is this 3 of Cups here? The Ace of Swords. So we saw the Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. And the 6 Swords. And the High Priestess. Okay, so I think you've been going against your intuition out of fear or just not trusting the flow. Okay, so your intuition's right. You're probably in a situation where there is 5 Swords or you're creating sabotage by not expressing a truth. Spirit wants you to understand when you're being defensive or keeping up some sort of understanding you have out of protection, because this doesn't allow you to heal. This doesn't allow you to sit with the 3 Swords you need to deal with, which is whatever suffering and pains you've experienced in the past. It needs to be healed, okay, by doing the reflecting, by allowing yourself to deal with truths. Okay, this will allow there to be a new beginning for you to create some sort of stability here. And I feel like with the King and Queen of Pentacles, it's like father-mother energy, building a future, the whole star thing that you were saying in your reading that you saw as a vision of something in the future, something you could attain. Okay, but will only come through healing. In order to create the stability, we have to start with this 1 Pentacle. Okay, the beginning of a seed here that grows to some sort of future. And so we might feel like we cannot, or we don't have it in us to find the balance or to feel healed enough or reflected enough to plant this seed. And Spirit is saying the only way we can do this is to sit with a great truth. Okay, to allow ourselves to be open, to allow ourselves to come together, to allow ourselves to not be defensive or have, I don't know, any sort of boundaries in place here that would prevent people from coming in. Would allow us to experience joy, would allow us to connect with people here. Okay, this is our birthright. So once we do this, we could see greater truth about what's going on here and allow ourselves to move out of 5 Swords energy, which is, having to maintain some sort of position that we're in, that we need to, I don't know, keep people at bay or defend some sort of thing that we believe, because all this does is doesn't allow us to align ourselves with something here that I feel you want to build for the future. Okay, so I don't know, if you're keeping distance from people, if you're, like being defensive in some of your words, or if you're just not sharing, Spirit is saying do the opposite here. Okay, lean into that, because that's how the healing is going to happen. So Spirits, final message. Any questions pile 3 still has in regards to this message? What am I missing? So we have the Sun in reverse. So we're not quite seeing potentially the joy, and the sun will rise. And we have to align ourselves with this, but I feel like this is dropping any sort of egoic understanding. So when we have a boundary, it could be out of the ego. When we start to say certain things, it could be out of the ego. We're trying to manipulate certain perceptions of us out of fears, and that's ego. Okay, so I need to sort of drop this Ace of Pentacles in order for the new beginning, the seed of the potential here that will create the stability, and the Two of Wands in reverse. So yeah, like I feel like the path and the choice is ours. So we can either choose the path of comfort or choose the safe to fall path, you know, and really foster this opportunity and the seed. But it needs to be fostered and supported with sunlight, you know. Page of Wands in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune, the Starman, which is the Magician, and then the Six Pentacles, and the Nine Swords. Under Nine Swords, we have the Queen of Pentacles now in reverse. Okay. So beautiful people. Lots of anxiety here to do things different. Okay. We might not trust ourselves. We might have a lot of dependencies with the Devil and this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There might be a lot of anxiety around maybe disappointing other people. You know, we don't want people to depend on us. Okay. So I feel there's a lot of I can't eat, sleep, or just anxiety with the King of Swords and now the Nine Swords. We're in our own mind. We're talking stories rather than allowing things in the material world to grow, to build to something that could stand the test of time. That would bring us a lot of abundance. Okay, I feel like we're not pursuing it, or we're not seeing it very clearly here because we're driven by a lot of anxiety in mind. And so Spirit is saying, like, if we want to explore this path, we have to nurture the opportunity, the gift, okay, and let the Wheel of Fortune, the universe, allow things to flow without resisting or getting in the way or fighting or suppressing, communicating truths, not, you know, fighting it or resisting it or pretending to be anything other than who we are. Because I feel like there's feelings you feel that we're not wanting to express or be seen. Okay, and so this is trusting the universe to do its thing. We don't really got to do much but allow things to flow for things to get better. Okay, but now Spirit is saying, like, you have all the tools you need here. And one of the tools that you need to lean into is allowing things, like I say, to fall apart. But it's really the world that I've created that is not sustainable that I need to shift from. Allow it to shift. Let go of what I need to let go of. Accept certain things I got to accept. I got to accept change. And then I have the tools in the space here that can become balanced. Okay, now I'm seeing the tiger head, which came out for pile number 1. So some of you guys were pulled to pile 1. There might be a message there for you. But the courage to lean into making the changes that you can do in order to give and receive. And so I feel like the giving and receiving is love, is a blessing, is a gift. But right now I feel it's either stunted or we're getting in the way of the universe. And so I feel like whatever this is destined with the Star and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like your destined path, but lots of anxiety because it requires me to trust or understand myself a little bit better, you know. And I don't want to see the alien self, but really Spirit is saying, like, the self you find there with that hermit and that alien is the self that's authentic. That's the self that needs to be embraced and supported here. Okay, not some sort of false self. 4 of Cups in reverse, to get out of this state of indifference. Okay, because I feel like the universe is giving you a gift with the 4 Cups and we're not seeing it, or we're getting in the way because the anxiety is louder, that we will be seen, or we have to express, or we have to trust, or we have to allow things to flow, and we're not used to this. So maybe we're very much used to being in control with the mind, you know, but if we continue to do this, it blocks that pathway. And so we can't explore like a child would here. So we need to allow ourselves to explore, because that's where the true joy is to be found here. Okay, and the balance. So this is your message, pile number 3. I hope this helped you, and I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.